Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the Wild West Racing League. Tonight, the Wild West Racing League presents the WYO Outlaw Custom Diecast Gen 4 Series. We're going to do 90 laps at Dover Motor Speedway. Tonight is the 7th race in 17 race season. This is the second season of this series. Tonight's broadcast is sponsored by the WYO Outlaw Custom Diecast and Redline Racing Podcast. WYO Outlaw Custom Diecast could take any of your diecast, customize them for your needs. Redline Racing can be found on Spotify with Trey Smith, the Redline Racing Podcast. While we're at practice, why don't we see if we can find some different drivers and bring them into the broadcast booth. We've got Jacob Shoffett at the top of the leaderboard right now. Let's see if we can get him into the up into the broadcast booth. Hey, Jacob Shoffett, this is Barry Stevens in the broadcast booth. You got me?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Going pretty good. Let me ask you a question. During these practice sessions, you're showing number one on the leaderboard for speed. You're known as a gas saver, and you're great at that to the point where nobody knows how you do it. But now you've also got top speed. That's something I'm sure everybody else is noticing. And what is it that you've done to be able to get this speed?
Man, I really don't know. It's just kind of surprised me. It caught me off guard, too. I just was working on fuel saving, and it felt good. Tried the same thing with a little bit more speed, and it stuck, and that's how I ran that fast time. But race pace is probably going to be every bit of half a second slower than that.
Absolutely, I think so. Now, do you have a game plan for tonight's race or today's race, or is this something that will evolve as the race goes by?
Man, it's just a fluid thing. It's depends on where the cautions fall and how things kind of go during the first half of the race, at least. And once we get to that halfway point, I think I might know a little bit more of kind of what my strategy might be.
Okay, great. Well, I'll let you back up into the driver's meeting, but Jacob, thanks for taking the time up in the broadcast booth to explain your race to us, and good luck out there today.
Thank you.
You bet. That's Jacob Shoffett in the 00 car. So drivers are still got a couple of minutes of practice going on there. Let's maybe look at somebody else we could bring in. Maybe, let's see. Maybe Mike Presley. Let's bring in Mike Presley. Hey, Mike Presley, Barry Stevenson broadcast booth. You got me?
Yes, sir, Mr. Stevens. You doing okay today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Mike? And
I'm doing good.
How's the car doing?
Well, I'm making a few adjustments. It's getting better and better, put it that way.
Well, that's great. Do you have a game plan for tonight going into tonight's race? And do you think you're going to have to make some evolving changes to your style of driving as the race goes on?
Well, repeat that again. What did you say now?
Do you have a game plan going into tonight's race?
Well, save tires, avoid the wrecks. I got a feeling there's going to be a few. Just try to be in the right place, or don't be in the wrong places, at the wrong time. So,
absolutely.
So really just kind of, it's going to be a patience game, really.
Okay.
Hopefully my tires can last and outdo everybody else. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Mike, that's the name of the game, and good luck out there. I'm going to take you back up to the driver's meeting, but appreciate your time. It's Mike Presley.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Okay. All right. So that's it for practice. We're now going into qualifying. Tonight, Once again, you're watching the Wild West Racing League at Dover Motor Speedway. We're here to do 90 laps. It's a 1 mile track, and this is concrete. Temperature on the track right now is 97 degrees. It's 71 in the stands with 5% relative humidity, partly cloudy skies, and a breeze of 5 miles an hour. Tonight's broadcast will be brought to you by Fearless Broadcasting Network. I'm Barry Stevens. So we've got our drivers out qualifying, and let's actually try to get some different views on the inside as they are qualifying. You're with James Napier right now in the 77 Chevrolet. James Napier. You can hear when he comes off the throttle. You can hear when he's back in. Doing some great driving. Got a good run off that corner. All right. James Napier moves into top of the leaderboard. Nope. Second. Hunter Sr. just passed him up, but James Napier now is second on the board. Let's see if we can find Hunter Sr. and bring him, or not Hunter Sr., let's see if we can find James Napier and bring James into the broadcast booth and find out how he got that speed. Hey, James Napier, Barry Stevens in the broadcast booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, you had quite a run there. You've just dropped down a couple since I looked, but you are still fourth on the leaderboard. You've got some good speed in the car tonight. What do you got for him?
Hopefully this thing stays green. She's pretty good on the long runs, I feel like. So we'll see what she's got tonight.
Now, do you have to have a, coming in here, did you have a game plan specifically for this track here at Dover?
Try to manage tires best you can. Sometimes it's a little hard at this track because it don't matter what you do. It seems like tires chew up quick. So basically just save tires as much as you can.
All right. Well, good luck out there tonight, and thanks for taking that time with us up here in the broadcast booth, James.
No problem, Barry. You have a good one.
You bet. That's James Napier in the 77 Chevrolet. All right. So we're 3 minutes in. We might be able to broadcast, or we might be able to interview one more driver. Let's see if we can find somebody else. Let's see. Michael Loveless. We haven't interviewed him in a while. Hey, Michael Loveless, Barry Stevens in the broadcast booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear.
Hey, how about that qualifying run? You're top five. Where'd you find that speed, and what's your plan for today?
This is my first race with the crew, and I'm still hunting around, finding where that best line is for this car here. It's a little loose on the top side, so I just kind of played a safe line. And so my plan is just survive and make it through.
Great. And as the race evolves, as the track evolves, I'm sure you're going to have to change your driving style and be smart as far as when it's time to be more aggressive. But you've got to get through the first 89 laps before we get to lap 90. And so hopefully you got something for me here tonight. We look forward to seeing that from you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. Well, that was Michael Loveless in the 89. Thank you so much, Michael, for taking the time to speak with us. I'll move you back up to the driver's meeting, or back up to where you were at before. All right. So, everybody has qualified. We've got Dakota Henderson leading it off. Second will be Hunter Sr. Jacob Shoffett is third. Fourth is James Napier. 5th is Michael Loveless. 6th is Tanner Ensign. 7th is Scott Rush. 8th is Mike Presley. 9th is Trey Smith. And your 10th place driver is Brighton Coleman. All driving bow ties here tonight. Chevrolets, and more Chevrolets. Once again, before we get started for tonight, you're watching the Wild West Racing League, brought to you by Fearless Broadcasting Network. I'm Barry Stevens. Track temp is 97 degrees here at this 1 mile Miracle Mile. It's concrete, and it's going to drive a little bit different than asphalt, so we've got a lot to look for. The differences between asphalt and concrete is concrete tends to have a little bit more of a slickness to it than asphalt, and even with the grooves that get put down by the tires, these Goodyear tires that these drivers are using tonight, the track just drives a little bit more loose than if it were built up asphalt or even old asphalt. So we see the 00 of Jacob Shoffett moving to the rear on the outside. We're getting ready to go racing here. Dakota Henderson will lead them to the line. Dakota Henderson lined up next to Hunter Sr. It's your first two. As the pace car comes off, Dakota Henderson in the go zone will lead them. And they are in the Echo Park green zone, and they are off. 5 of Dakota Henderson on the inside, the 20 of Hunter Sr. on the outside, side by side. That's HendrickCars.com, and the Home Depot now moves to the outside, and in front is the 20 of Hunter Sr. all by himself. 5 of Dakota Henderson is now in second. In third place is James Napier in the 77 on the outside, fighting for second place. This is your second place battle. 77 moves onto the outside, teardrops it quite a bit, comes back down. The 5 remains in second, however. That's Dakota Henderson, James Napier. Then if you look back one more, you see Michael Loveless in the 89. Behind him is the 44 of Tanner Ensign. Let's see that battle going on. That 44 is right there, Tanner Ensign. And we're under caution. Jacob Shoffett looks like he crashed. Let's see what happened. Double zero. He just got loose. Yeah, let's take that look at that again. He just gets loose coming out of the quarter into the throttle just a little too soon, and his angle just wasn't right into the inside retaining wall. That front nose cone comes off. Front of that car might be a little bit damaged. We'll have to see what he can do with that. Let's go back up to the front of our field where Hunter Sr. is our leader. Jacob Shoffett was the one who was involved with that. Let's see if we've got Jacob Shoffett. There he is. Let's bring him into the broadcast booth real quick. Hey, Jacob Shoffett, Barry Stevens in the broadcast booth. You got me?
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. Better than you, it looks like. What happened out there on that last lap?
Man, it just showed no sign of coming around, and it just stepped out on the straightaway. Like, it wasn't even in the corner. Just felt like it snapped out on the straightaway itself. So, I mean, but it's all right. I think I got minimal damage. We'll get back out there and we'll get it done.
Yeah, it looked like you lost your front nose cone when you hit that inside retaining wall, but hopefully that wasn't a hard hit, and they can get that repaired and get you back out. There's plenty of time left. We've only gone 5 laps, so good
Oh,
job.
yeah.
So hopefully we know you've got what it takes. So good luck, and I'm going to put you back up there now.
All right, man. Thank you.
You bet. That's Jacob Schaffet in the 00. So, when we get ready to go again, we'll go side by side. James Napier and Michael Loveless will be in your first row. Tanner Ensign with Trey Smith in your second row. Scott Rush and Mike Presley in your third row. Bryton Coleman and Hunter Sr. in row 4. And row 5 is Dakota Henderson and Jacob Schaffet. Jacob Schaffet in that 00 was the one that was just involved in that accident. So as we wind around, the cars are now coming side by side behind the pace car. Past the grandstands. This time by will be at 7 laps. And there's Jacob Schaffet. Makes it to his row on the inside. And we're getting ready to go racing, folks. 77 of James Napier gets a good run on the inside. The outside is 68 of Michael Loveless. 68, and then the 44 of Tanner Ensign on the inside moves right in line. 77, Michael Loveless and Tanner Ensign are your top 3. Tanner Ensign moves into second on the bottom. Look at that move. Michael Loveless gets out of the groove and drops back down to 4th. Trey Smith is now in 3rd position. Tanner Ensign in 2nd. 3rd position is now Trey Smith. We see Dakota Henderson back there in 5th. Let's look back here at this battle. Hunter Sr. in the 20. In 5th. Right in front of him is Michael Loveless in 4th position in the 89 machine. That 20 is right on the bumper of Michael Loveless. And he will take the pass there. That'll be Hunter Sr. in the 20 machine, Home Depot, for 4th place. Let's go back up to the front. We see James Napier. You're watching Wild West Racing. Ride fast, race free. Wild West Racing League. The gap is 1 second. And we see Jacob Schaffet trying to stay on the lead lap, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do that. That 77 of James Napier passes him on the bottom. So Jacob Schaffet will go down 1 lap. The 77 of James Napier now has a gap of 1 1/4 seconds over 2nd place, Trey Smith. It's a sharp looking U.S. Army Big Red 1 machine of Trey Smith. Trey Smith also runs the Redline Racing podcast. Look him up on weekdays. That's Redline Racing podcast with Trey Smith. He can be found on Spotify, by the way. Oh, and the double zero goes loose, gets up into the outside retaining wall. That was a hard crash by Jacob Schoffert. Let's trying to see if we can find. This is in the aftermath of everything that happened. Well, that was just a bad mess. Look at that. His Jacob Schoffert's right front wheel is dragging. He's getting a push by the 40 of Brighton Coleman. Good sportsmanship there. We see the leaders, most of them went down Pace Pit Road and will stop for some fresh tires. Now, that will put Tanner Ensign out front with Michael Loveless in second position in that 89 machine. Mike Presley is third. Scott Rush is now fourth. And fifth is the 40 of Brighton Coleman. The rest of the field's going to be coming out of pit road, and we'll find out who's in what position. James Napier comes out 6th. Trey Smith comes out 7th. And Hunter Sr. comes out 8th. Dakota Henderson comes out 9th. And Jacob Schoffert is still in the pits and will come out 10th. So we're only on lap 16 of 90 here tonight, or today. This Miracle Mile is brought to you by the YO Outlaw Custom Diecast. They can take your diecast, customize it, make it what you want. Also brought to you by Redline Racing Podcast. Redline Racing brought to you by Trey Smith. You can look for him on Spotify. Weekdays. Wild West Racing League presents the WoW Outlaw Custom Diecast Gen 4 series. We thank you for tuning in tonight on YouTube to watch us. It's a great league, great group of drivers. We know you have choices. We're just glad that you're here to watch Wild West Racing League and the Gen 4 series. Drivers are now side by side. Pace car will be coming in, and Tanner Ensign in the 44 will be leading them to the line. And the pace car is in. Tanner Ensign will be the one leading them. And they're off. Michael Loveless gets a great jump on the outside and goes into first place. Drops to the bottom. And right behind him is Tanner Ensign in the 44, who gets right onto his bumper and goes to the inside. On the inside is Tanner Ensign in the 44, who now nose to nose, side by side, the 68 or the 89 and the 44. 89 is fighting hard to stay up there in first place. He's doing everything he can. That 44 wants first place. Tanner Ensign is always fast. Michael Loveless is a newcomer here tonight. Oh, Oh boy, in the back, a little bit halfway through the field, we had some wiggling going on. The 77 of James Napier, Mike Presley, almost had caution there, but they were able to hold that together. Great wheelmen in this league. The ability to sense when there's going to be an issue or a problem and correct it. Incredible driving skills shown by these guys. So you're looking at Tanner Ensign as he's looking at Michael Lovelace up in the front. Michael Lovelace now has a gap of a half a second over Tanner. But we're under caution again. It looks like Trey Smith crashed. Let's take a look there. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's take a look at that again. That's not a lot of damage, I don't think, to his vehicle. So what happens is he gets loose on the exit, and then the car just goes to the bottom. He's able to control it, keep it off the wall other than that. So he just had some side impact, and hopefully that car is going to be okay. That's Trey Smith, though. Let's see if we can get Trey Smith real quick into the broadcast booth and see what happened there. Hey,
I'm gonna bust his ass.
Trey Smith,
Thanks,
Barry
Tony.
Stevens in the broadcast booth. You got me.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Trey, what happened there on that last lap? Looks like you got a little loose coming out of the corner.
I don't know what the hell happened. Just car snapped out underneath me and went around, and then I don't know. About to open up a can of whoop ass on everyone, Barry. That's for damn sure.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. You were quite the wheelman. Even though you had that car step out on you, you were able to keep it off the wall except for that side impact, which didn't look that bad. And I think you are still sitting pretty good. We're only on lap 23, and you think you still got some form here tonight.
I'm gonna have to use my fast repair, but I'm about to drive it till I see either God or the checkered flag. So we're going full sender.
All right. Well, amen, brother. Good luck with that, and sorry that you're having to use that fast repair now, but stay out of trouble, and let's see you up in the podium tonight, or today.
You better be ready for that trophy, because I'm gonna be the one you're handing it to. That's for damn sure.
All right. Well, we've got a little bit of time here. Let's quickly talk about Redline Racing Podcast, would you?
Yeah, we got a new episode coming out Thursday. We had to delay it a little bit, this week's episode, but not an issue. Coming out Thursday with Spotify, Redline Radio. Check it out. And if you don't, well, you ain't a true race fan. How about that?
There we go. All right, Trey Smith in the number one car. I'm going to move you back up. Thanks for your time.
All right.
Thanks for your time in the broadcast booth.
Yes, sir. I'll see you in a few, Barry.
All right. That was Trey Smith in the number one Chevrolet. All right. Let's go back up to the front of the field. We see Tanner Ensign, who will line up beside James Napier, Hunter Sr. with Dakota Henderson, Scott Rush with Brighton Coleman, Michael Lovelace with Mike Presley, then Trey Smith, and finally Jacob Shoffett. James Napier will lead them to the line in the 70 or the 44 of Tanner Ensign will lead them to the line. James Napier on the outside. And we're going to see the pace car dive off the racing surface this time by. And we'll get back to racing beginning on lap 25. And the pace car is off. We are gonna go, racing fans. Tanner Ensign in the 44. He's in the go zone. Oh, he does not get a great start. The 77 of James Napier on the outside gets an excellent restart, and they're off. That's James Napier, followed by Tanner Ensign in second. Hunter Sr. third. Dakota Henderson fourth. And fifth is Scott Rush. We see the 20 of Hunter Sr. move around on the outside, passing Tanner Ensign. Tanner Ensign moves now into third position. Hunter James Napier is still our leader in the 77 car. But Hunter Sr. is in second place, and he showed some exceptional speed in practice today. We expect to see him up front all afternoon. So Jacob Schaffet now is showing 3 laps down in his machine, as he's had to make whatever repairs he can. His car is definitely not up to the same pace as James Napier, Hunter Sr., and Dakota Henderson, our top 3. Move back up to the front. We see James Napier with Hunter Sr. right behind him at just under a half a second gap. Third place is Dakota Henderson. Dakota Henderson has clean air in front of him. He's quite a bit of distance back, so he's driving as if there's nobody in front of him right now, which allows him to be a little bit faster as well. Behind Dakota is Tanner Ensign in fourth position. Behind him is Scott Rush, Trey Smith, and we see Michael Lovelace, who just made a pass past Trey Smith. Michael Lovelace in that 89 machine. Back up front, we see Hunter Sr. closing the gap, only 0.3 of a second now on Hunter Sr. He is right there. This is for the lead. 77 on the outside, the 20 on the bottom. '20 gets into the corner, nice. It gets a good run onto the inside, but the outside line has that exit speed. Side by side. Some excellent racing here by the 20 and the 77. And now we see that Hunter Sr. has taken the lead over James Napier. And in third place is Dakota Henderson. So Hunter Sr. and following him is James Napier, and then Dakota Henderson are your top 3. We see that lead car now of Hunter Sr. pulls a gap of about a half a second off of James Napier. We are under caution again. Who is that? Scott Rush. Let's see what happened to Scott. That's the 04. Go Army. Oh, he got into the 000 of Mike Presley. Let's see that again. See if we could figure out if he came down. Mike Presley's on the bottom. Oh, boy. They just kind of got into each other. One went up, one went down. And it looks like all of our leaders will be coming down pit road. 68 stays out. I'm sorry, the 98 or the 89 stays out. Puts him in first position. So we have 3 people that stayed out. That would be Michael Lovelace, Tanner Ensign, and Mike Presley. Hunter Sr. also. Back on track now is Dakota Henderson, James Napier, who will be 7th. We're looking to see who comes out of the pits. We have our top 6. Michael Lovelace, Tanner Ensign, Mike Presley, Hunter Sr., Dakota Henderson, and James Napier. 7th will be Trey Smith. That leaves 8th and 9th. 8th will be Scott Rush. Brighton Coleman will be your 9th place car. Tonight is Michael Lovelace's first race with Wild West Racing League, and he's showing that he's got good speed and good intelligence on the racetrack. It's always great courtesy to not be aggressive, especially in your first race with a new league. The drivers around you aren't sure of your level of skill, and so it does bode well to not put yourself in situations that make other people nervous. Okay, so we're getting ready to go back racing on lap 38, coming to lap 39 as the pace car has dropped down. Michael Lovelace will bring them to the start line. They are in it, and he gets a good jump on the bottom. On the outside is Tanner Ensign. Tanner Ensign has a little bit of extra momentum, but he drops down wisely to the bottom of the racetrack. Michael Lovelace, Tanner Ensign, Hunter Sr. in 3rd position. 4th would be Mike Presley, and Dakota Henderson is your 5th place car. Hunter Sr. now moves up into 2nd place. Michael Lovelace, Hunter Sr. Oh, and we've got a wreck. That's the 5. I saw the 5. Let's look and see what happened here. In front of him, the 5. Yeah, and the 04 took the battle for that. That's it's too bad. That was Scott Rush. Let's see if we can get Scott Rush up in the broadcast booth real quick.
Guess who's back? Back again.
Hey, Scott Rush, Barry Stevens in the broadcast booth. You got me.
Hey Barry, what's happening?
Hey, looks like you were not the cause of all of that, but you certainly got the most damage from all of that. How are you doing, and how's the car?
Got a little damage, but I just used my fast repair, so I'm kind of stuck with the way it is right now. I tried to swerve to avoid what was going on the right, and I think the person behind me had the same idea, and they hit me. So I don't know. It's part my fault, you know. It is what it is, man. Short track racing.
Absolutely, a 1 mile track. This is the stuff that's going to go on. But we are only on lap 41, so not quite even halfway yet. So you've got quite a bit of racing to go, and
we'll see.
Got that machine fixed up. you probably got something for him.
We'll see, man.
All right. Well, hey, Scott, I'm going to move you back up, but thanks for taking the time with us up in the broadcast booth.
Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you.
You bet. That's Scott Rush in your 04 Chevrolet. So Michael Loveless will remain our leader with Hunter Sr. in second. Third is Tanner Ensign, followed by Mike Presley. Fifth place will be Trey Smith. Sixth is Scott Rush. Seventh is James Napier, followed by Dakota Henderson in eighth place. Brighton Coleman is in ninth. Jacob Shoffett is 10th place, but showing 2 laps down. With each caution, he gets the lucky dog. The lucky dog rule, if you are unfamiliar with it, is whenever a caution comes out, the first car 1 lap down, or the car that's closest to only having 1 lap down, gets to lap the entire field and get a lap back. So if you are 2 laps down, in the case of Jacob Shoffett, you would get to a caution, you would come lap the field, and you would come up and line up behind them, and you would only be 1 lap down. And at the second caution, you would get to wrap the field again, and you would be on the lead lap. That's how that works. So we've had quite a few cautions here, and we are only at lap 43 of 90, not even halfway just yet. We see that 04 car of Scott Rush. It looks, you can see the damage on the rear panel. Pace car is off. Michael Loveless will lead us to the start line. And he takes off and gets a decent jump. That's Michael Loveless first. Second is going to be 20 of Hunter Sr. on the outside. Gets a great run. Oh, the 44 gets loose. 44 and the 1. The 1 gets turned. That's Trey Smith. Trey Smith ends up into the wall. Let's see what happened. Caught that just in the corner. Trey Smith, and right above him, you see the 44 gets loose. Trey Smith, nothing he can do about that. Ends up having to lock him up. Touches absolutely nothing. Wow. Great driving by Trey Smith in the number 1 U.S. Army Red Line Radio podcast car. So Michael Loveless continued to lead the field around in first place. Once again, you're watching the Wild West Racing League at Dover Motor Speedway, where this 1 mile track has a temperature of 97 degrees. We're in Dover, Delaware. Temperature outside is 71 degrees with 5% relative humidity. It's only partly cloudy skies and a slight breeze of 5 miles an hour. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Fearless Broadcasting Network. I'm Barry Stevens. Wild West Racing League presents the Wild Outlaw Custom Diecast Gen 4 Series. You've been watching Wild West Racing League. We thank you for your patronage. 90 laps total at Dover Motor Speedway. This is the 7th race of 17 races. So our first 4 drivers are out. 5th now is Trey Smith. Michael Loveless, Hunter Sr., James Napier, Dakota Henderson, Trey Smith are your top 5. The rest of the field is in the pits. So Jacob Shoffett did get a lap back, and he is only now 1 lap down. We are just 1 lap past halfway in this battle at Dover Motor Speedway on the Miracle Mile. Concrete jungle. Tanner Ensign, it moves into 6th. 7th is Mike Presley. 8th now is Brighton Coleman. Scott Rush will come out 9th. Jacob Shoffett, showing only 1 lap down now, is in 10th. Cars line up side by side, getting ready to go racing, fans. As we get ready to go, the pace car will drop off, and it does. Michael Loveless will bring him around to our start line, and he gets a fair jump. He's takes over first place. Hunter Sr. drops in below him for second position. Third place now is James Napier. Fourth is Trey Smith on the bottom. On the outside of Trey Smith is Dakota Henderson, and now Dakota Henderson is side by side for fourth position. Caution comes out again. Looked like the 5 car. Do not have a replay of that. But what that's going to do is that's going to allow our 1 lap car down, Jacob Shoffett, to get back on the lead lap. So this is great news for him. For everybody else, maybe not so much. So Michael Loveless commits to staying out on the racetrack. The 20 of Hunter Sr. makes his way slowly down pit road. And Jacob Shoffett has now passed the pace car, and he'll make his way around, and he is now on the lead lap. So just like that, from being 3 laps down to being on the lead lap, that's Jacob Shoffett in the 00 Chevrolet. Wild West Racing League presents the Wild Outlaw Custom Diecast Gen 4 Series, sponsored by the Wild Outlaw Custom Diecast. They'll take your idea, your diecast idea, and customize it to your needs. That's Wild Outlaw Custom Diecast. Also, Redline Racing Podcast, found on Spotify. Redline Racing Podcast with Trey Smith. Tonight we're doing 90 laps at Dover Motor Speedway in Dover, Delaware. The 7th race of the season, 17 races total. So, Jacob Shoffett, Dakota Henderson, and Scott Rush are all in the pits. So cars line up side by side. They'll come around one more time. So Jacob Shoffett comes out of the pits in 8th place. Let's see if he can get back around, wrapped up. We see the 20 of Hunter Sr. He came in for tires and fuel. And there's Jacob Shoffett. Pace car is off. Michael Loveless will once again bring us to the start line. And they're off. The 77 gets a great jump on the outside and in second position, but Michael Loveless in the 89 is in first. 77 is James Napier, followed by Trey Smith in the number 1 Chevrolet. 77 drops low, looks low, but Michael Loveless in the 89 stays on the bottom. We are under caution again. It looks like Scott Rush may have crashed. Let's see what happened to Scott Rush. He was just driving on his own there, and he got loose. Let's look at that again. Coming out of the out of the turn, out of turn 4, yeah, he just got into the throttle a little too soon, probably trying to catch up to the field. So as we near lap 54, Michael Loveless has moved down to the pits. He's on pit road. 35 miles an hour seems so slow. It's a long ways down. And there's Michael Loveless as he pulls into his spot. That'll bring our leader to James Napier in the 77 Chevrolet. Trey Smith will be second. Tanner Ensign lines up third. Mike Presley's in fourth. Fifth is Hunter Sr. We see Dakota Henderson getting a lap back. Our 04 car of Scott Rush is showing 3 laps down, but maybe out of the race. Our leader is James Napier. Lined up beside him will be Trey Smith. Second row is Tanner Ensign with Mike Presley. Third row is Hunter Sr. and Jacob Shoffett. Fourth row is Brighton Coleman and Michael Loveless. Then Dakota Henderson in 9th, and 10th is out, who's not on the track, is Scott Rush. So Michael Loveless now moves to the back of the field, but with fresh Goodyears and Sunoco racing fuel. They are lined up side by side. We will go racing this time by. Once the pace car reaches pit entry, he'll pull off and we'll go racing. Got some sharp paint jobs here tonight, honoring Veterans Day. So the one gets a great jump on the outside. Looked like he was a little loose, but he kept it together and has a great run. So that's the one of Trey Smith, who will wrap it around. take the early lead on this restart. James Napier is in second position right on the bumper of Trey Smith. Trey Smith will bring it around and lead the lap. So that's Trey Smith's first lap to lead tonight, and that's on lap 57. James Napier is in second. Third is Tanner Ensign. And fourth is the Hot Rod of Hunter Sr. We see James Napier on the inside looking to pass Trey Smith, and he will. Trey Smith moves into second position behind James Napier in the 77. James Napier gets a little loose. The one gets beside him once again. 77 takes the lead back over comfortably. The one of Trey Smith in the big red one machine in second place. Third is Hunter Sr. Fourth is Tanner Ensign. Fifth is Mike Presley. Michael Lovelace has now moved up to sixth position. The 20 of Hunter Sr. looking to the inside of Trey Smith. That's for second position. And he takes it. Hunter Sr., second place. Now look at the 44 of Tanner Ensign will take third position away from the one car. That drops Trey Smith all the way back into fourth place. And he just grazed the wall also. We see Hunter Sr. now looking up forward on James Napier. James Napier has a gap of 0.6 of a second over Hunter Sr. Third place, Tanner Ensign. So James Napier, Hunter Sr., and Tanner Ensign are your top three. Michael Lovelace is doing battle with Trey Smith. But Trey Smith's about to be passed by Jacob Shoffett and Michael Presley. Jacob Shoffett moves all the way up to fifth place. Michael Lovelace is now in fourth place. We see the gap has significantly decreased to just over 0.3 of a second between James Napier and Hunter Sr. Under caution once again. It looks like Trey Smith may have crashed. Gets into the outside wall. Oh, and then gets turned by Mike Presley in that 000. Let's look at that again. Kind of looks like Mike Presley came up. Let's try one more time. Looking at half speed here. We see Trey Smith, we see Mike Presley. Trey hits the wall. Comes down. Well, you know, sometimes that's just racing, isn't it? Looks like our leaders are headed down pit road. Hunter Sr. stays out. Hunter Sr. becomes our new leader. He did not need that kind of help. He's fast on his own. 77 of James Napier, Tanner Ensign, Mike Presley, Dakota Henderson, Brighton Coleman, Trey Smith are all on pit road. So the field, except for Hunter Sr., Michael Lovelace, and Jacob Shoffett, are all in the pits. So, Hunter Sr., Michael Loveless, Jacob Schaffet, James Napier are your first 2 rows. 5th and 6th will be Tanner Ensign and Mike Presley. Dakota Henderson is in 7th. Brighton Coleman and Trey Smith are still in the pits. Brighton Coleman is out and Trey Smith are both out now. The racing on concrete is definitely not like it is on asphalt. When these cars finally do snap loose, it's a lot harder to control them. Just a little bit more slick on a concrete track. Hunter Sr. is fast week in and week out. It's no miracle that he is in the lead. What is interesting is the 89 of Michael Loveless, who has been up front a good portion of this race, now finds himself on the outside row. Pace car is off. Hunter Sr. will lead them down. And he gets a good run on the inside. The outside, Michael Loveless. Michael Loveless gets an early bumper on the outside fender. The run will go to Hunter Sr. Hunter Sr. takes the lead through turns 3 and 4. We're under caution once again, this time Tanner Ensign. Let's see what happened to Tanner. 44 machine. Just what we've seen all night. Got loose and into the inside retaining wall. Boy, if he would have maybe locked that up, let's look at that one more time. If he would have maybe locked that up a little bit earlier instead of trying to save it, I'm not sure he could have saved it or not. But maybe that he would have, right in there, he could have just locked it up, not had all the damage that he ended up with. That's a destroyed race car there. That's the 44 of Tanner Ensign. So, let's see if we can find Tanner and bring him up to the broadcast booth. Hey, Tanner Ensign, Barry Stevens in the broadcast booth. You got me.
I got you, Barry. How's it going?
Pretty good. It looked like you had things going pretty well, and then you came out of that turn. Car got loose. You tried to fight it and ended up on the inside retaining wall. How's the damage, and are you going to be okay?
Yeah, I still got my fast repair, so we're gonna come in and take that. We were running all right. Me and Jacob were just joking, thinking that James was dropping oil because he was loose too. And I mean, I wrecked all the way down the front stretch before I actually wrecked. So we tried.
Yeah, it looked. I mean, you were trying to keep in it. I said in the broadcast, maybe if you'd just locked it up, you would have stayed off the inside wall. But at that point, there wasn't a caution come out, and really was no reason to just lock them up. So,
You know how it is here. It's hard to spin something and not wreck it. So
Absolutely, yeah. It's not exactly the widest oval that we have for sure.
no, it is not.
All right, Tanner. I'll let you go back up into the radio channels, but thanks for taking the time to speak with us up in the broadcast booth.
Anytime, Barry. Hopefully we're talking to you at the end of this thing.
You bet. That's Tanner Ensign in the 44 Chevrolet. So our first row is Hunter Sr. and Michael Lovelace. Then second row is James Napier with Jacob Shoffett. And third row is Dakota Henderson and Mike Presley. Fourth row is Tanner Ensign with Brighton Coleman. Trey Smith is out of tonight's race. Well, that's a shame. He wasn't the fastest, but he was running amongst the fastest. And definitely had speed in his hot rod tonight. But it's a shame. So now we have two drivers who will not finish tonight's race. That's Trey Smith in the 1 Chevrolet and Scott Rush in the 04 Chevrolet. Cars are lined up side by side. We'll be going racing this time by on lap 73 of 90. Pace car is off. Hunter Sr. on the outside. Michael Lovelace on the bottom. Oh, and look at the run Hunter Sr. got on the outside. Great jump. Second position, still Michael Lovelace on the bottom. Third place is Jacob Shoffett on the outside. But just to pass him just now is James Napier in that 77 machine. That 77 is now in third position all by himself. So Hunter Sr., Michael Lovelace right behind him, and then James Napier just a little bit back. Behind him is Jacob Shoffett and Mike Presley. Look to sixth position is Dakota Henderson. So Michael Lovelace is doing some great racing here tonight, showing himself also to be quite the wheelman. Up in front, running in the top of the leaderboard here. In second position behind the speedster Hunter Sr. Hunter Sr. has moved out to a 0.6 of a second gap over Michael Lovelace. And third place, James Napier, is looking to make that move on the bottom, and he does. Side by side with Michael Lovelace. That's for second place. He cannot make the move, the pass on that attempt. He'll have to try again. Behind James Napier is Jacob Shoffett in fourth position. Jacob Shoffett got really, really loose there. Was able to collect the car and not run into any issues. Hunter Sr. now has a gap of 1 1/4 seconds. We are on lap 78 of 90, coming to 11 to go. So the field is somewhat spread out. Hunter Sr. still leads. Second is Michael Lovelace, but third is James Napier, and James Napier is catching Michael Lovelace. But he needs to be careful because behind him is Jacob Shoffett in that 00 machine. We see James Napier doing everything he can. This is your battle for second place. While they battle, Hunter Sr. has now moved out to a gap of 1.7 seconds. We see Hunter Sr. way out here, 1.5 second lead over second place Michael Loveless, third place James Napier. Jacob Shoffitt, to the right of your screen, is in fourth position. We see Tanner Ensign in your 44 machine, representing the U.S. Marine Corps. Mike Presley running sixth in a 000 machine. Dakota Henderson has got a rearview mirror full of Brighton Coleman, who's fighting for 7th and 8th position. So there are battles going on all around the racetrack. Let's go back up to the front. We see Hunter Sr. with a gap of about 1.4 seconds. He does seem to be losing a little bit to Michael Loveless, who is in second position. Gap's now down to 1.1. So, not sure what Hunter Sr. is doing. He is always fast. Michael Loveless, though, is just 1.1 seconds back. Is Hunter Sr. keeping him at that 1 second level and saving his tires? We don't know. Seems to be able to keep him at about 1.1 seconds back behind him. He just had a couple of laps there with some extra speed and has now increased that gap to 1.3 seconds. That's Hunter Sr. There's Michael Loveless doing everything he can to get in the picture with James Napier in third. You see Jacob Shoffitt take that over, though, from James Napier. So James Napier is in fourth position, but he does the crossover move on the inside on the 00 of Jacob Shoffitt. Will he be able to? No, Jacob Shoffitt on the outside will. They are side by side. Oh my gosh. Some great racing here for third and fourth position. James Napier, and then on the outside is the 00 of Jacob Shoffitt for third place, and he will retain third place. Now we look back here to the gap between Hunter Sr. and Michael Loveless. The gap is now 1.3 seconds. We are on the white flag lap. Last lap. Here we go, folks. Hunter Sr. is going to take this away. What a run by Hunter Sr. What a great run by Michael Loveless and Jacob Shoffitt. Here we go, folks. Coming to the end of 90 laps. That's it. That'll do it. Hunter Sr., Michael Loveless, Jacob Shoffitt, followed by James Napier, then Mike Presley, Tanner Ensign, Brighton Coleman, Dakota Henderson, Trey Smith, and Scott Rush, who did not finish your race tonight. You were watching the Wild West Racing League on your Tuesday night racing on YouTube. We thank you for watching the Wild West Racing League, presented to you by the WYO Outlaw Custom Diecast Gen 4 series and Red Line Racing podcast. You've watched 90 laps at Dover Motor Speedway. What a race on this concrete mile. What a great race. We've got 3 drivers to interview, and are beginning with Jacob Shoffitt. Let's see if we can find Jacob Shoffitt, bring him into the broadcast booth. There he is. Hey, Jacob Shoffitt, Barry Stevens in the broadcast booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you. How you doing?
Doing great. And how are you doing that third place finish? You were showing some speed in the second half of that race tonight or today. What'd you have for him, and how'd you get there?
Oh man, I had some good speed going. I just didn't have the tire to do it. I had 40 laps on them tires, and then was able to battle with James there for the third spot. So appreciate him running me pretty clean there in the last few laps. But yeah, we were going for the fuel strategy again, and that last caution kind of ruined it. So we went to full speed mode.
Full speed mode. Well, it worked out for you. You know, third place is podium, and that's what counts. You know, and you put in a week's worth of work getting ready for a race. It's nice to have it pay off for sure. Were there any times during today's broadcast while you were out there racing that you thought, man, I need to change something, or I need to be driving a little bit different, something, or did you just think all the way through that this is my race and I've got what it takes?
At first, I was thinking it was my race, and then after I had that little incident early that put me 5 laps down, blew the motor and everything else, and had to tow. It just snapped around and then gripped up at the same time right after, and then it just shot me in the outside wall. But once that happened, I was like, okay, I got to play a little more conservative. I've already used my fast repair. Can't just go out there and pin it. Hope to win it. So I had to be a little bit more finessed with this one this week.
Well, before I let you go, do you have any shout outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Hunter on winning this race. He ran a good race start to finish. Puffy Swag Shop, Legacy Outfitter Gear, Fearless Motorsports, of course, y'all there at Fearless Broadcasting, and you in the booth putting on a good broadcast. Trying to think of anybody else. The YO Outlaw Gen 4 or YO Outlaw Diecast. I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head, but yeah. Oh yeah, and Ultimate Pest Solutions.
All right. Well, congratulations on that top 3 finish tonight, Jacob. We're really proud of you, and we look forward to seeing you next week for our race. And I'm going to put you back up with the other drivers so you can celebrate. But thanks for taking the time to come up to the broadcast booth and speak with us.
Yeah, man, appreciate it.
You bet. That's Jacob Shoffett in your 00 machine. So second place was Michael Lovelace. Let's find Michael Lovelace and bring him up to the broadcast booth. Hey, Michael Lovelace, Barry Stevens in the broadcast booth. You got me.
Yeah, how you doing, Barry?
I'm doing great. You know, we talked to you pre-race, and you weren't sure what you had for him. And you know, it's your first race with the new league, and I got to say, you drove a great race. You were your etiquette was where it needed to be. You were not driving aggressively, and that's something that other drivers notice because they don't know the kind of driver that you are. So you did a great job, and you should be congratulated not just for your second place, but for a second place and doing it without having to be overly aggressive.
I appreciate that. Yeah, no, that's just the style racing I typically do. I race fair and clean, and I try to be respectful of all on the track.
Well, you certainly did that tonight. Was there any time during tonight's race where you had to make some changes to your driving style, or did you just pretty much keep it the same way throughout the race?
I tweaked it a little bit near the end. I don't know that it made it better. I was just trying to find something, try to get some ground onto Hunter, but I think it wore off the tire a little bit more. And so then I lost some ground, and then I was just like, all right, I'll sit comfortable here and just hold my place. And Hunter had an awesome race, and so congratulations to him. And I was happy and pleased with my performance overall, and no major mistakes on my end. Just some strategy calls and just the way the cards fell.
Well, that's good. Do you have any, before I let you go, any shout-outs you'd like to give?
Just to my family and just to my friends, and I appreciate being here.
Okay. Well, Michael Lovelace, you should be proud of that second place tonight, and we look forward to seeing you next week as well.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. That's Michael Loveless in the '89 Chevrolet. Our last driver is Hunter Sr. Let's find Hunter Sr. Hunter Sr. does not seem... There he is. Hunter Sr. is in the waiting room. Hey, Hunter Sr., Barry Stevens in the broadcast booth. You got me.
Yes, sir.
What another great run by Hunter Sr. I keep calling you the alien of the league, and you are also always very humble to say that's not who you are, but you are fast week in and week out. How'd you do it tonight?
I mean, besides, getting to run, most of the race under caution, which, that's, I'm just poking fun. That's nothing to do with anybody. That's just this track, and I kind of talked about that in the chat a second ago. So, just let that record be clear that this is not an every night thing. This is just this track, and you can go watch no league races happens. But no, it was a lot of luck, honestly. I don't think, I think if we would have had longer runs, I don't think I could have, outran the 5 or the 77. Is that what number? Is that who he was? Yeah, James Napier. Yeah. Same with Loveless. They were really fast tonight, and those guys, just because I won does not mean that those guys weren't quick and they weren't competing, because they were running me down a couple of times. Same with Dakota. That first run, he was coming, and I was like, and I just said it to him a minute ago, but I wouldn't mind finishing second to him. He's definitely raced me really clean, and when I saw him flying up through the field, running me down, I just thought I could pull over, let him have it. It's one of those things that like I said, he's raced me clean. I'll do whatever it takes, to be clean with him. But yeah, just like I said, just because of the win doesn't mean those guys weren't fast, and it was a great race. Besides the cautions, that last run was really fun, and I had a lot of fun tonight.
Well, let me ask you before I let you go, do you got any shout-outs?
Yes, sir. Juicy Spider. Same thing every week. Those guys they're killing it. Everything they do. If you haven't checked them out, if you're watching, go check out Juicy Spider and the High Side Podcast. Juicy Spider, they got Nick, Mike. They do the editing, and if you could see some of the things they do, man, they kill it. And those guys are absolutely amazing at what they do. And if you're ever looking for work or ever want to, get something done that fast, cost effective, and it's really efficient for what they do, those guys are going to kill it. And they'll make you some great content. And big thanks to you for giving this broadcast. I know it was a bit of a snoozer with the cautions, but hopefully that last, hopefully there was enough racing going on that can keep you entertained. But big thanks to you.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. All right. Well, Hunter Sr. in the number 20 car, I'm going to let you go back up to the boys so you can celebrate tonight.
You have a good night.
Thank you. Hunter Sr. in the 20 Chevrolet. Okay. So one more time, our leaderboard tonight was Hunter Sr. was first place, followed by Michael Loveless in second. Third was Jacob Schaffet. Fourth was James Napier. Fifth was Mike Presley. Sixth was Tanner Ensign. Seventh was Dakota Henderson. Eighth was Brighton Coleman. Ninth was Trey Smith. And 10th was Scott Rush. We know you had choices. We thank you that you spent your Tuesday night with Wild West Racing League, presented by the WYO Outlaw Custom Diecast Gen 4 Series and Redline Racing Podcast with Trey Smith. Look up Redline Racing Podcast on Spotify. Usually find him during the beginning to midweek, and he puts out a podcast every week. So that would be Redline Racing Podcast, as well as WYO Outlaw Custom Diecast. They could take your diecast idea, customize it to what you want. WYO Outlaw Custom Diecast. So tonight was 90 laps at Dover, and there was quite a few cautions, but it's a mile track, it's short track racing, and it's on concrete. So we have a few things, and it's a narrow track as well. So all of that being said, we thank you for being with us here today at Dover, Delaware. We look forward to seeing you next week at the same time, and thank you so much for watching the entire race with us tonight. For the Wild West Racing League and Fearless Broadcasting, I'm Barry Stevens saying good night.